She agreed to pretend to be his wife for just 7 days, but on the very first night, something happened that neither of them saw coming. Before I begin, make sure you subscribe to the Legend of West channel for more emotional USA-style love stories. Snow fell like glitter over Maplewood, the kind of small American town where Christmas lights made every street glow like a fairy tale. Ethan Walker, a successful but emotionally distant entrepreneur, stepped out of his black SUV with a deep breath. Christmas wasn't his favorite time of year, but this year was different. His entire family was expecting him to arrive with a wife he didn't have. His grandmother had fallen ill last month and insisted Ethan bring home the woman he planned to marry. The pressure, the expectations, and the endless questions pushed him toward a reckless solution, a fake wife. And that's how he ended up standing inside a cozy coffee shop, staring at a woman who looked like a walking Christmas miracle. Her name was Leah Parker, a warm-hearted kindergarten teacher with soft eyes, a soft voice, and a dreamer's soul. Ethan had met her only twice before, but both times she had helped him when she didn't even know who he was. Once when he dropped his keys on a snowy sidewalk. Once when he spilled his coffee, rushing to a meeting. Maybe that kindness was why he chose her. "Are you serious?" Leah blinked as Ethan finished explaining his strange request. "Pretend to be your wife for Christmas?" "I'll pay you well," Ethan said honestly. "But more than that, I need someone I can trust." Leah's heart pounded. She wasn't used to such wild, dramatic turns in life, and she certainly wasn't used to men who looked like Ethan. Sharp jawline, striking eyes, confidence wrapped in a perfectly tailored coat. "Why me?" she whispered. "Because you're real," he replied. "You don't pretend." Her cheeks warmed. It had been a long time since someone had looked at her like she mattered. After a long pause, Leah finally sighed. "Fine, 7 days. I'll do it." Ethan released a breath he didn't know he was holding. Hours later, they were standing outside his parents' mansion, decorated with wreaths, golden lights, and the warm smell of pine drifting through the open door. Everything looked picture perfect, except their relationship. Ethan took her hand. Leah's heart skipped. "Ready?" he asked. "No," she whispered. "But let's do it anyway." When the door opened, his entire family gasped and cheered, rushing forward to hug Ethan's wife. Leah smiled nervously, keeping her fingers tightly laced with Ethan's. But that night, everything changed. After the family dinner, Ethan walked Leah to the guest room, specially prepared for Mrs. Walker. The soft glow of Christmas lights reflected in her eyes. Ethan hesitated before leaving. "You did great tonight," he said, voice lower than usual. "So did you." Leah looked up at him. For a moment, neither spoke. The warmth between them felt real. Too real. Slowly, Ethan reached forward, brushing a loose strand of hair from her cheek. "Good night, Leah," he whispered. But the way their eyes locked, it didn't feel like good night. It felt like the beginning of something neither of them had planned. The next morning, the smell of cinnamon rolls drifted through the Walker mansion. Leah stepped into the kitchen, wearing one of the soft sweaters Ethan's mother had gifted her the night before. She felt strangely at home, even though everything was supposed to be pretend. Ethan's younger sister, Olivia, grinned at her. "You know, Ethan never brings anyone home. Not ever." Leah swallowed, unsure how to respond without destroying the illusion. "He's a good man," she said softly. Olivia leaned in, whispering, "I'm glad he finally chose someone with a heart." Leah nearly choked on her coffee. Chose. If only they knew. Meanwhile, Ethan watched from the doorway, noticing something he hadn't expected. His family loved Leah, not just polite approval, genuine warmth, the kind Ethan hadn't felt in years. When Leah noticed him staring, she smiled, and his chest tightened in a way that wasn't fake at all. Later that day, the family dragged them along for the town's Christmas festival. Snowflakes dusted Leah's hair as she laughed, running from stall to stall with Olivia. Ethan trailed behind. watching her joy like it was the first real spark of Christmas he'd seen in years. At a quiet moment, Leah turned to him. "You don't smile enough," she teased gently. "I smile," Ethan defended. "Barely," she countered, poking his arm. "You should try enjoying things instead of only organizing them." That small touch, the poke, the laugh, the softness, wrapped around Ethan like a warm scarf. He didn't admit it, but he was changing. When they returned home, Ethan's grandmother called them into her room. Her silver hair glowed softly in the lamplight, and her eyes sparkled with wisdom. "Come sit," she beckoned. Ethan sat beside her. Leah hesitated, but joined him. "You two look good together," she said knowingly. "I've lived long enough to know when love is real." Leah's breath caught. Ethan stiffened. Before they could respond, she added softly, "Promise me you'll take care of each other." The weight of her words settled over them like snow. That night, Leah couldn't sleep, her mind racing with thoughts she shouldn't feel. She stepped into the hallway and found Ethan already standing there. "You couldn't sleep either?" she asked quietly. "No," he admitted. They walked to the living room where the tree glowed gently. The room felt like a safe bubble, away from questions, family, and lies. Ethan looked at her, really looked at her. "You've made this week easier than I expected. And you've made it harder," she whispered before she could stop herself. He stepped closer. "Harder, because it doesn't feel fake anymore." Silence settled. Their hearts beat fast, breaths warm in the quiet. Ethan reached out, gently lifting her chin. "Leah, I don't think it's fake either." The air between them shifted, soft, electric, real. Their lips were inches away, but before they kissed, someone walked in and everything shattered. Ethan's mother froze in the doorway, holding a tray of hot cocoa. Leah jumped back, cheeks burning. Ethan cleared his throat, trying to act normal. "Oh, I'm sorry," his mother said awkwardly. "I didn't mean to interrupt. Whatever that was." "It was nothing," Leah lied quickly. But Ethan's mother didn't look convinced. She left them with a knowing smile that made Leah's heart twist. The next morning, the tension between Ethan and Leah was thicker than winter fog. Every accidental touch, every shared glance felt dangerous, like a truth waiting to escape. Over breakfast, his father announced, "Tonight, we're hosting the annual Christmas dinner. Everyone is excited to finally meet Ethan's wife." Leah nearly dropped her fork. After the family left the room, she turned to Ethan. "We need to talk." He nodded. They walked outside to the frozen garden where the world was quiet. "This is getting too real," she whispered. "Your family, your grandmother, they all believe in us." Ethan exhaled deeply. "I know. This wasn't supposed to happen," she continued. "You said 7 days, nothing more." He stepped closer. "Do you regret saying yes?" "No," she said honestly. "That's the problem." Ethan's expression softened. Snowflakes fell around them like tiny blessings. "Leah," he said gently, "I didn't expect to feel this way either." Her breath hitched. "What way?" "The way I feel when you smile. The way it feels when you walk into a room. The way I—" He stopped, too honest, too vulnerable. Before she could respond, Olivia ran toward them. "Come quick, Grandma wants to see you both." Inside, Ethan's grandmother lay on her bed, weaker than before, but smiling with a glow that filled the room. She held their hands. "Promise me one thing," she whispered. "Don't waste love. Life is too short." Leah's chest tightened painfully. Ethan's jaw trembled. That night, at the Christmas dinner, Leah looked beautiful in a shimmering midnight dress his mother had gifted her. Everyone adored her. Everyone welcomed her like she truly belonged. But inside, she was breaking. Because tomorrow, this pretend marriage would end, and Ethan would go back to his real world. Later, after the dinner, Ethan found her outside, standing near the snow-covered fountain. "Why did you walk away?" he asked softly. "Because I'm falling for you," Leah admitted, voice trembling, "and this was never meant to be real." He stepped in front of her. "Then let's make it real." Her breath froze in the cold air. "Ethan, I don't want 7 days," he whispered. "I want forever." Tears filled her eyes. "But your family thinks My family doesn't matter right now, he said, cupping her face gently. You matter. Then, under the Christmas lights, with snow drifting around them, Ethan kissed her, slow, deep, and full of everything he had held back. No pretending, no lies, just love. Their Christmas miracle was real, and it was only the beginning.